All right, sorry, the previous video ended unexpectedly. I guess my hand touched something I didn't take note of. All right, so this is what they have in theirs, and then everything is looking similar to what we have. So for now, I believe we're done with that section. So let's go to the next section now. Um, we add some styles, more styles. Oh, sorry, I didn't click. Click first. Let me scroll. I had more for the H1 inside that carousel. Talking about this. Okay, these names here. Let's just modify it a bit. So I'm changing the font size to 3M, and okay, I think that's all. So I save. All right, the name should increase in size. It should get bigger. All right, no much difference, but it's something. Just a little adjustment. Now for the next div. Remember the next div now. Let's go to our HTML. I believe we gave it an ID of learn more. Learn more. We're done with this carousel. Now the next section. All right, a very short section. Just this. We have only one div inside. The the old ID, the old section has an ID of learn more. So let's style the ID, the section itself. All right, just like every other section, we gave it a width of 100%. I gave it an height of 5 ems. I set the display to flex, justify content center, margin top 5 Now, if I do that, I'm not sure we'll have anything much yet, but let me just refresh the page. All right, nothing. Scroll down, everything just like it. The only thing is that it is centered. That's the only difference now. They are all the elements inside is all centered. Okay, so next, the div inside of it. Let's now style the div because the div actually contains the main content. So I gave the div a background color. I explained earlier on using DRs. Let me scroll down. Come on. All right. This section occupies the whole page, from left to right. But inside the section, we now have this div with a background color of green. Inside that div, we have all of these elements. So we're trying to style the div inside now. If we give it that background color of deep green, border radius of 20 pixels to make it rounded, width of 80%. We want it to take 80% of this whole section. Remember, this section is the height of this the width of this section is 100% of the whole screen. So this one now, the width of this div is going to take 80%. That is, it's going to span almost from here to probably somewhere. 80% should be somewhere, but remember it's centered. So we're going to have 10% space left and 10% space left, and the div is just going to stand in between, like what we have here. 10% here, from this div to the end of the div is 80%, making 90%, and this space has the remaining 10%. So the div is just taking 80%. Now display set to flex, of course, justify content space evenly, flex direction set to column. Like I said, I don't know what I was thinking, but I shouldn't actually be using justify content when the flex direction is set to column. So the height of this div now 50 view height. When I save, we should have something looking like it. Refresh the page, and it's loading. All right. Oh my God. Okay, this is what we have for now. It's still messed up, so let's still continue adjusting. Now the next thing I'll be doing is I'm styling the H1 inside. That's this take the next step. I style it, I change the color to light green. I increase the font size to 3.5 and I gave it text align center. I want it to be at the center of this div. Currently it's at the flex start. I want it to be at the center. So let's style more. The paragraph below it as well, and that is this this old guy here that we have here that we can't even see presently. Let me show you what we're trying. This one here, start transforming your business experience. It's currently looking like it's blacked out because of this logo. So we're going to change the color to white. Text align also to the center. We increase the font size to 1.2 m. And then last, okay, the button, we have that button. We have the button, and that is this button, learn more, which should not be so long. But apparently, the learn more button is occupying the whole screen. Okay, let me see. Let me look at that learn more again. Okay, I'm wondering how come. I'm wondering how come. I just noticed something now. I don't know. Maybe it's an error from my browser. I noticed that there is a logo here. Okay, the footer. Oh my God. Can you see that this is I was wondering what is happening. Can you see that the footer is already coming close? So we need to actually give this guy some margin bottom. But for now, um, I was just wondering. I was confused. All right. So the button now, we're giving it a background color of light green. Align self also to center. We want this button here to be aligned to the center, and then the background should not be white. We want it to be light green. Then we increase the font size of the text. This text, learn more. Increasing the font size to 1.2 m. I'm giving it an height of 3.5 m. I want it to be taller. Apparently it's kind of short but fat, so I want, short. I'm sorry, I want tall and not too fat. So I'm increasing the height to 3.5 m because I don't want to see the border showing. So I'm giving the border the same color as the background color. Align items inside of it. We have items inside of it, and that is just this text. I'm aligning it to flex start. Border radius. I'm giving it a border radius of 40 pixel. I want it to be really curved, and I'm giving the button a width of 16%. That is, this button apparently is taking 100% of the parent. Is taking the whole space. This div with the background color of green is the parent element. So this button is presently taking 100% of it. But what we want is we want it to just take 16%. So it's going to be very little, somewhere like, somewhere like this, maybe just from here to here. But since it's in the middle, it's just going to be maybe from somewhere here to here. It won't be too wide. So 16%. And of course, for every of our button, remember, we would always have an over effect. So I added an over effect. Transition set to all. Transition duration 0.4 seconds. The only over effect we've been adding so far to all our buttons is opacity. So this time around, I give it a higher opacity, 0.6. Yeah, make it more transparent. So we save what we have, and let's see the adjustments. We've adjusted this text, this paragraph, and this button. So I refresh the page. It's loading. Okay, it is there, but like I said, this guy is obviously disturbing us. This footer, the footer is affecting us now. So let's fix a solution to that. Remember that initially the main, I think we gave the main a margin height of auto, but now we want some margin bottom. So the main ends here. The footer is meant to begin below, but apparently the footer, the main is already going into the footer. You're already jamming. So we're going to give the main, the whole main content, the main content, some margin bottom so that there can still be some space before we get to this footer that is overlapping here. So margin bottom of 20 m. When I save, refresh, it should be clear now. All right, thank you. We've sent it back to its place. So apparently this is the footer, which is kind of still close and still junky. All right, so this is our div. This is what we're concerned about for now. This is the div. This is the over effect working, opacity. All right, so I think that should be the last one. The last thing should now be the footer. All right, now let's style our footer finally. The footer also, we're giving it a width of 100%. I'm giving it height of 25 VH. Background color of this light green. Setting the display to flex. Justify content because it's this the direction is set to row. So justify content space evenly. When I save and refresh, this footer below here that is not looking good, that we all right, this is the old footer here from this logo down here. So apparently it's on a column basis, but now we've set it to row. So when I refresh, the logo should be by the right, this list should be in the middle, and this guy here should be at the extreme right, the flex end. So let me refresh my page. It's loading. Now can you see that it's still not looking good, because the whole space that the old property is meant to contain, this logo alone is taking it all because of its width. So I think we have to adjust the width of that image, that footer logo. That's what we gave it. We gave it an idea of footer logo. So I'm setting the width to 16%. So we're telling it, Mr. Footer logo, thank you. We appreciate your kind gestures, but please, can you just take only 16% of this width? So it's just going to be stuck to one corner now. I refresh. Okay, now can you see it's stuck to the left? The UL is here and this is here. So we're already running up. Now we're going to style the ULs. Remember, this is the UL here. I set the display to flex and flex direction to row. I turn on flex wrap. Justify content, space between. So we want all of them to be aligned. Currently it's on a column basis, but we want it to be aligned from left to right. That is flex row. And then what else? I'm setting list style to none. That is to remove these bullet points that is attached to them by default. Width 55% of the page. Remember, this has taken 16% out of 100%. So what we have left from here to this place should be, when you remove 16% from 100%, I think we should actually have 84%. So these two are left with 84% to share. Out of the 4%, we're already giving this guy 55%. So we should be left with, I think, 29% for the last element, and that is this copyright element. Yes, copyright rather. I think we wrapped it inside the span. Yeah. So we've added some styles to the UL. Okay, let me add the anchor tags as well, because there are anchor tags inside all of these lists. We know that already. That's what makes it clickable. So for the anchor tags as well, text decoration set to none, and that will remove this underline property in every of them. Color, set it to black, and of course I added a little over effect on those links, opacity 0.8, and because of that I added transition property, transition of all, transition duration 0.4 seconds. So I save now, and then the UL, these are focused now. It should make some sense, except I don't know the color. Okay, black is what we want, I believe. So this is taking 16%. This UL now is taking 55%, and they are pushing the remaining 29% to this poor guy here. Now if you look at it, when I over it, the darkness of the color is reduced, opacity takes place. All right, can you see? So I think we're left with this one now. Next, the span, I give it a margin top of 4M because it's too much at the top. So we want it to, come down. And then we save. I think that's all. Refresh the page, and finally it is balanced. So successfully we have created the desktop view of the WhatsApp page here. Let's scroll up and take a look at our page again. Okay, the video is getting long. We'll continue in the next video.